Well, guys, Trump did it. He just dropped the nuclear option. He pulled the Trump card. He wants the filibuster gone. This has implications on both sides of the aisle. There are good, bad, and indifferent things that we're about to walk through, and this is one you need to send out because this is an important thing for our country going forward. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on as we go through this because this is a big one, people. This is genuinely a big one. You can follow me on X at Braden LOA if you so choose. Let's dive right in. So, here's the deal. This happened last night around 11 o'clock. Trump calls for the end of the Senate filibuster to break the funding stalemate. Now, he's talking about the shutdown. The Democrats are already on their back heels. And in my opinion, personally, this is just a hypothesis, I think that this is the final little poke for Schumer to go, okay, I might have to fold because if they don't fold, they're going to lose power complete and total for the next 3 years. I don't know if he wants that. And I'm going to walk you through this entire article on the other side of the sponsors for the video. This is World of Warships. Guys, check it out. It's something you need to see, and then we're going to jump right back into the article and the videos. I want to take a second and talk to you guys about something that I think is right up your alley. World of Warships. Guys, they've put together a celebration of the 250 years of the United States Navy, and they did it in an amazing way. And if you like strategy, you like warfare, you like ships, you like combating with your friends, guys, this is the game for you. There's a link in the description, and the code is STEPUP250. Remember that as I go through all the things that they're bringing forward. And they've got something for everybody. Whether you're new to the seas or you are a returning commander and a veteran, they've got new theme packages. They've got new containers. They've got new ships available. There's 500 ships in 10 different nations. Guys, this is limitless entertainment. Look at this. You not only go through and command some of the biggest ships, some of the biggest battleships, you launch volleys at your friends or a random competitor online. Then you can call in airstrikes on it to really deliver the message home that the freedom will not be disrupted while you go back to the base that you've built that I mentioned through Liberty Base. Guys, they have something in here where you can actually build your own base and push that freedom across the high seas by doing different missions, getting new supplies, and making your base even better, which will lead to better ships. It is a limitless amount of content, constantly updated. Guys, this is something you should check out. Link in the description box below. Again, get code is STEPUP250. All right, so let's continue on here. I want to show you a few highlighted segments, and then I've got some videos to share as well. President Donald Trump on Thursday urged congressional Republicans to unilaterally end the government shutdown by eliminating the Senate filibuster, urging them to take an unprecedented step that GOP leaders have firmly opposed until now. Quote, "It is now time for the Republicans to play their trump card and go for what is called the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and get rid of it now," Trump wrote in a Truth Social post, and that was last night. Now, you need to know what the filibuster is. The filibuster is effectively the tool that makes sure the minority party doesn't get trampled in the Senate. That's effectively what it is. It requires 60 votes to move forward with legislation versus the typical simple majority of 51. Now, the establishment leaders in the Republican and the Democrat Party have been extremely hesitant to get rid of that because they understand in the long game that they have a play if they're in the minority. That's the way this game is played. That's why they don't like to get rid of it. And also the Senate is a body that really likes tradition and really likes their rules, and they don't like to change things for the short term. Now, in all transparency, the Democrats have done this before in Obama's term in order to get judges in place. And ironically, it backfired, which gave Trump a full Supreme Court dominant majority. But what's happening now, in my opinion, is the final threat to Chuck Schumer to say, like, you know what, you're losing. You might as well accept you've lost. If not, you're going to lose the filibuster, and you won't have a say in anything for the next 3 months. That's effectively where you're going. All right? Now, the directive, which came after Trump returned for several days abroad, is likely to upend efforts on Capitol Hill to bring an end to the weeks-long funding impasse. And it immediately ratcheted up the pressure on Republican leaders who adamantly opposed eliminating the 60-vote threshold for passing legislation as a way to end the shutdown because they don't want to lose the minority power when they have it. It's that simple. Top GOP lawmakers have long argued for keeping that threshold in place, asserting that the filibuster benefits Republicans and will serve as a key safeguard against Democrats passing transformative legislation the next time they're in power. It's a long-term play. Now, I'm just going to be real honest with you. A really good example from my 2A advocates in the crowd, from my gun people in the crowd. You guys went through it with me when the Democrats did not have the power to ban assault weapons, install universal background checks, do red flag laws nationally, because they didn't have they didn't have the guts to get over the filibuster. Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin did not allow them to nuke the filibuster. So that stayed in place, and it prevented the insane infringements they were pushing forward around gun rights. So this has already got a long track record of preventing a lot of bad things from happening. But let's continue on, because the Republicans in the Senate are not for this. I mean, I'm just telling you, they're not gonna. Thune spokesman Ryan Rassi said in a statement to CNN Friday, so that's today, Leader Thune's position on the importance of the legislative filibuster is unchanged. The statement had some in his party breathing a sigh of relief. Definitely gives us cover, a GOP aide told CNN. No one in the conference seriously wants to nuke the filibuster except maybe two. And that's the big piece. I got a lot of clips I'm going to show you here in a second. But the Senate, those senators value tradition more than anything else, and obeying the rules and following with precedent. That's one of the hallmarks of that deliberative body. And they don't like the idea of changing things. Even the Democrats didn't do it, and the Republicans didn't do it. They do not like doing it. Now, in my own personal hypothesis, I think that you are looking at something that's going to end up being a threat and a cudgel over Schumer's head versus anything else. But this is what's happening right now. Senate Democrats believe major progress to end the government shutdown should come after Tuesday's election. This is in New Jersey and in Virginia. Now I don't want to do this one. I want to do this one right here. This is a very interesting piece to this, because we've been talking about this a lot. The generic ballot, this is where all the marbles are held. Pre-shutdown in September, the Democrats held a +6 advantage. October, during the shutdown, Democrats hold a +1% advantage. That's not even an advantage anymore. That is dead neutral or negative for Democrats. That's important for you to understand, because that's what this whole thing is about. It's about their power and their preservation of power and their control of perception. That's what they're doing this for. But let me get over to Mike Johnson, who seems a little amiable to the idea of actually nuking the filibuster. Check this out.
Post last night about the filibuster. We just want this to end. They do not deny that the Democrats themselves, that they are prolonging this pain. They admit to it. They said they're using it as leverage. The big question everybody needs to ask this morning is why. They're trying to appeal to the radical left Marxist rise in their party. That is sum total what this entire thing is about. It is infuriating to us.
I think it's
all right. He didn't directly say he should nuke the filibuster, but he did allude to President Trump's comment and post on Truth Social where he was saying get rid of the filibuster. But again, when you're looking at all the different pieces here, and the speaker is kind of using it as a little bit of a cudgel, a little hint, hint, poke, poke. Donald Trump is coming in saying they need to get rid of it now. You've got the generic ballot that's moving against. I already showed you all the unions, all the CEOs, all the airlines, all the everything is going against the Democrats. This feels to me like the last push, the last tool you need to hit that nail on the head. That's what that feels like to me. I could be completely wrong, but it seems to be that direction. And you guys can tell me in the comments what you think. But again, you have to understand this piece right here, because they value this more than anything. It's truly remarkable. And then I'll tell you what my opinion is. And it immediately ratcheted up the pressure on Republican leaders who have adamantly opposed eliminating the 60 threshold vote for passing legislation as a way to end the shutdown, because they like it. The top GOP lawmakers have long argued for keeping that threshold in place, asserting the filibuster benefits Republicans and will serve as a key safeguard against Democrats passing transformative legislation the next time they're in power. And that's kind of aligned to exactly what my point is as well. So the Democrats are already losing in almost every single metric across the board. They are getting smacked around. And if you get rid of the filibuster, sure, you might win for the next 3 years. Or in a worst case scenario, that actually makes you more unpopular and you lose the House in 2026. So therefore, you only have about a year to do everything through the 51 majority vote in the Senate. The House doesn't pass anything in a hypothetical takeover from the Democrats, you won't have anything getting to the Senate either way. So you're talking about worst case scenario, 1 year. Best case scenario, 3 years. Then you're up for a general election again. And if the Democrats take power again, the retribution is going to be incredibly swift, particularly if you get rid of the guardrails that are in place right now because of the things that are occurring in this moment. You would sacrifice a whole lot of things down the road that you would gain in this individual moment, and I honestly don't believe it would be perceived very well if they got rid of the filibuster as a way to get around the psychosis that you're seeing from the Democrats. I don't know. That's my own thoughts on it. But like I said in the intro and in my short today, the screen door swings both ways, and it's going to hurt on both sides. So take that into consideration. Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually really curious what your thoughts are on this, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.